Certifiable just might be, in terms of coming to terms with life and realizing it's likely. The truth is that the fruit of that which hurts is still enticing. The bacon's bland but turns to crack soon as you add the icing. Your eyes will dry without the high, you better keep some Visine, and keep some tabs on who reacts soon as you add the pricing. From soul to soul, it pays to know who was that which might scheme. A scary fact, discovering that their faces blurred like crime scene. As protocol, my circle small, we all family on my team. One time for the dog we lost, not enough to just RIP. Thank you for the laughs, now go relax and find the dog thing. This one hurts, I have no words, it's pulling on my heartstring. Might have to revisit this, and next time I just might sing. Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the Kiona and Kasson podcast, episode number 57.
What up, what up?
I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with my brother, Osama.
Yup.
Been a long couple weeks.
Long couple weeks, man.
It's been a while since we've been here, but we're back.
Seems like more than a couple weeks, to be honest with you, but...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's been a long couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. How do we address it? Just, there's one man down, you know?
Yep. We typically have Stacks over here to the left of us sleeping or something, but unfortunately, that's not the case this week. Part of what made the week so long, so we don't need to go too deep into it. Big part of our lives, you know. Sad that he's no longer here, but his memory will always be. So let's, unless you have anything else you want to say about it on here.
No, man, just rest in peace, Stacks.
Yeah, rest in peace, Stacks, man, for sure. But so 57, we missed y'all. You know, we've seen each other a lot in the last couple weeks, so it hasn't really been.
Yeah, we've been around
pretty caught up a lot. You know, but
excuse the tears. You know, hey. Gangsters cry too.
Yeah, so shut up. That's out of the way.
Yeah. Excuse the crack in my voice.
Excuse my voice, fan.
But those who are dog owners definitely understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and even if you don't, well, try to.
But anyway,
either way.
So now, being that this was initially like a music-based podcast, I got to thinking the other day, and I was listening to something. I forgot exactly what it was, but some DJ artist, right?
Yeah.
So it got me to thinking, now that we're in 2019 and music is consumed so drastically differently than it used to be, DJ stands for disc jockey, right?
Yup.
So if you remove the disc...
Yeah, he's a jockey?
He's just a jockey? Like...
Well, that I don't think anybody ever really thought about let's remove disc from disc jockey.
Or did you just change it? Now is it just digital jockey?
What does jockey mean? That's the key. Look up jockey.
What's a stream?
What is a stream?
Let's see.
Somebody did this.
Somebody did this.
I want that fucking soundbite. We will have a soundboard one day coming soon. I promise. We're just trying to figure out how that even works.
So the definitions in here.
Well, just look up the first one. Don't look up to the fourth one that makes sense.
It says a person who rides in horse races, especially as a profession. Then U.S. an enthusiast or participant in a specified activity. So like a car jockey. I don't know why that's the definition.
I've never heard of a car jockey, but that's why I was asking, because if jockey means something specific.
So what I mean,
if jockey were to mean, you know, somebody who, you know, is, I don't know, an expert, or not an expert, but an enthusiast of something, and like does it a lot, or
the jock of said thing.
Yes, like why you jocking discs?
So
jocking horses.
Then
would
I be able to say like, hey, I'm a sneaker jockey? Like, I just don't like the way that sounds very much, to be honest.
I mean, it's I don't.
Shortening it to DJ was probably smart.
What would they? Why don't they call horse jockeys HJs?
It's not necessary for their profession, you know. Hip hop is about making.
Horse jockeys are very small dudes and dudettes.
Yeah, I would be so inclined as to not call them like a regular person. Like
I think they are like
you're a jockey. You are what you.
Look, I guarantee they have to be like 5. Case. They've got to be. They've got to be 5 something. I think like 5'5".
So what are we talking about? Like the average size of a jockey?
Yeah, like a horse jockey, not this jockey. They're gonna give you DJs that are like 7 feet. Like, oh man, you can DJ at that height. That's what's up. Can you imagine a 7-foot horse jockey? This horse is like, fuck this, dude. How did I even get this guy on my back?
They actually have quite a spread, which is weird. Jockeys.
You know, fucking jobbies.
Jockeys typically stand around 4 feet 10 to 5 feet 6.
Okay,
That
well,
is a bit
what
strange.
what is
I know I said that was weird, but
a little person is like what? Like less than 4 feet?
a little person. Since when did we get politically correct?
Well, I know you
midgets are about this tall.
No. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what to call people anymore, dude. I just be like that
Makes you feel like a dwarf amongst midgets.
like you don't want to like you don't want to insult anybody, but by not insulting anybody, you insult almost everybody. You're like, dude, include me in this.
I'd rather just insult everybody. You know?
This age of inclusion is a little bit nuts.
Yeah, listen.
It's like, dude, how can I include everybody in one? It's if I were to put everybody in one blanket statement, isn't that kind of like generalizing?
I think Dave Chappelle talked about this, right? Like, if you want inclusion in everything, you're gonna get inclusion in everything. That's the bad shit too. It's not like just the good shit.
Right. If you want inclusion, everybody got bills, just like everybody can win the lotto.
Right.
Like, it just is.
I'm
what
sorry,
it is.
but just because you're under 4 feet does not mean you don't get to pay your bills. Like,
Right.
go to find a job.
Right.
Go be a jockey.
I guess though, if I were that short, I would attempt to be a horse jockey.
I think there's a too short. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I'm saying that short, like the short that you just listed.
4'10" to 5'6".
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, it's dangerous, and I don't even know how much they get paid.
I'm telling you, jockeys.
Man, we are talking about a sport we know nothing about.
Exactly. But jockeys
of all the
identify.
sports we could speak. All the things we could talk about.
I think they identify as their job. Like, you know how most people say, my profession is not who I am, it's what I do type of thing. I think it's who they are and what they do. Like, you have to eat, sleep, breathe jockeyism. You know,
you just got to ride a horse.
Well, I mean, like,
fast.
First of all, you're already that short, and people are just going to associate you with certain things that revolve around a short
Remember
person.
that fucking dude? You are not my mother or my boss or my whatever he said. Like, remember he's like the Jewish dude in the bagel shop in New York. That shit was hilarious. He's bumping him with his stomach and shit. Look at you, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah,
he was a little guy.
He was little. And then he got a lot of...
You just paused. He was little. No, he was a dickhead, though. Like, just because you're little doesn't mean you get to fucking have this Napoleon complex about things.
He got a lot of attention after that. Like, he was on radio shows and shit. Like,
he's an actual, like, social media, like, person. I don't know or personality. I have no clue what he does. I guess he just rants in that funny little voice, huh?
Is it a rollout? Like, getting all this attention on him, so he's getting ready to put some...
He just went to a bagel shop and started venting. Wow! Like, Waterboy, literally. Like, stop making fun of me.
Well, there's always, like, some media, like, scheme or whatever when there's about to be, like, something you have coming or you want people to pay attention to, you know? And if you already have an outlet... Maybe.
I don't know if he planned that. He got beat up by a guy that was like twice his size.
Well,
he's like, shut the fuck up!
The getting beat up part probably wasn't his plan.
What was a funnier rant, right? The guy that said, it is ma'am! It is ma'am! Motherfucker! I will show you, ma'am! And or this guy that was like...
Wasn't that guy in like a GameStop woman?
No, I think he was at a convenience store.
I thought he was at like a GameStop and like dude.
It doesn't matter where
it does. It does because the setting makes it even more hilarious. Like, what are you yelling about in the GameStop? Like,
these dudes are the most non-threatening people on the planet.
They're literally all like Jonah Hill in his little role in a 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like, they're all like that.
I want to buy them too, and you're making that very difficult for me.
Like, the most threatening thing they said is, "You're making this very difficult for me."
Like, dude, I'm just trying to get the new Dungeons and Dragons. Is that a video game?
I guess. I don't know if they made a video game of it.
I don't know. But that's what I assume they play, right? Like, something along those lines. These dudes are playing Pokemon. They're not there for you, right? Like, they don't know what... They don't mean to insult you, but you are mad. He was like, motherfucker, I will show you, ma'am! They were like, okay?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, because every time I'm addressing something like this, I never know whether to say he or she. Because I know he said ma'am, but... He said ma'am. So it was very off-putting.
Like, I don't know. But I was just, which one was like, Okay. Which one was more funny? I'm just gonna say it.
I mean,
because one was just bumping people with his stomach, right? He had to jump up to bump you with his stomach. That was pretty funny to me.
Yeah, I'm probably the it's ma'am guy.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. That guy.
Yeah.
No, that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't know, but
we went from talking about horse jockeys to
we went from talking about DJs to horse jockeys to those
what
guys.
are you bringing up DJs for?
Because remember, I was talking about the disc no longer in disc jockey.
It's no longer there?
It's there, but should it still be, considering the fact that there's even most DJs now, they play from their Mac. They play like, they don't have, it's not like a turntable setup like it used to be,
Yeah, but then changing the name requires a lot of reprogramming in people's heads.
But it's inaccurate now is what I'm saying,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because when disc jockey started, if there was no discs involved, they probably wouldn't have named them disc jockeys,
Okay, I'm with you on that. But now, like, it's there. It's kind of like, Jesus. Like, if you want to try to like talk about like, okay, well,
Jesus he's there.
He's there. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, do you want to talk? You want to change his name? He's like as time goes on, admittedly, people's like thoughts on religion and everything changes. So if you evolved in your way of thinking about Jesus, do you call him something else?
Can you evolve in the way you think about disc jockeys? Yeah.
I know equating Jesus to disc jockey seems crazy to some.
I mean, there's never been anything that made a whole lot of sense on this show. So
57 episodes in.
57. But so then now that I'm not like thinking about any specific examples, but I would like to kind of comb through and the outdated terms that come along with the new digital streaming age, right? So there's probably like other outdated terms in hip hop now. And not that DJ was individual to hip hop, but I think that's kind of how it began, because I know there's DJs in other realms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that this is just one of those things that just is gonna be.
Well, I mean, but think about how much has actually changed. That people,
there's a lot that's changed.
There were people who probably said, "Oh, I think this kind of just has to be what it is." But there's
but what are you gonna change it to? Like Apple Jockey? Like it doesn't make any sense.
You can turn it to like digital jockey.
Maybe eventually, maybe some in some groups or some some place that's what they're trying to change it to. But for now, it's still disc jockey. Just like MC is, master of ceremonies. It's like, okay, microphone checker.
So it just has multiple things that it translates into.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
I suppose that's fair, because there's probably some old school DJs out there still working with the turntable setup and everything.
Right. Yo, so Nicki Minaj retired?
I don't believe it.
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't really know if who retires 100% truly from the rap game. I don't know. Maybe Joe Budden, because his transition has been 100%.
He's making a lot more money without rap.
He did say in the last one I listened to. I'm back a little bit. I've had some shit going on, but he did say that who asked him? Oh, Damian Lillard asked him for a verse, and he said he was going to get one
on the show.
Yeah, that's the last one I watched or listened to actually, and I was like, okay, well. Maybe the door isn't closed for Joe Budden in terms of going back to rap to some extent. I think you may see him feature. Maybe.
I don't know. I think you're more likely to get an album out of him than a feature, to be honest.
What the hell is this album going to be about now? He's looking for fucking phantoms and shit. Like, I don't know what he would rap about.
I mean,
it's like Maul said. He can't really rap about like money rap.
There was some Joel song that came out on his most recent project, and he was talking about like
the Monday Project.
Yeah, and he was talking about how he never like gets the chance to gloat. So let young pimp and brag for a minute, type of thing, Mm-hmm. So Joe hasn't really had that opportunity in his career.
No, not
so
yet.
I'm not 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if he came out with something like,
Well, how good would that be? Do we know?
Is Budden? So I know he's.
I mean,
he's
he can rap, but I don't know if that rap is like conducive. Or his kind of style is conducive to that kind of rap,
But he also has not and maybe he did individually, but he hasn't really tested these waters publicly. So it could be some good shit. I mean, you never know. You know what you expect him to do and what kind of quality you're gonna get from that stuff he puts out, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying he could probably do it well.
All right.
But yeah, Nicki Minaj. First of all, I didn't know that she was 36.
She's 36?
She's 36.
Oh, damn, that's a little different. I anticipated her being a little early 30s.
That's what I thought. I thought like 32, 33 maybe, but and then like as I got to reading the story, it delved a little bit deeper into like her fiance and everything, and he was like some sexual predator or some shit.
Yeah, I think he was in jail for some shit like that. Yeah. But I don't know enough. I'm not going to speak on that. But no, the idea that she is 36 makes sense if she's looking to have a family and all that. And, you know, rap is going to be something that can be, you know, a rap career is so demanding, especially when you're a superstar. So, like,
I think she's going to try to go the Budden route and only do Queen Radio and just have a baby, you know?
That's exactly what I thought about the other day, or yesterday. I was like, she's got Queen Radio. She's setting herself up for a media that, you know, she could be a media presence, but not really have to. I think she's setting herself up to be a presence in the media and allowing herself stability. She don't have to do much touring. She doesn't have to do a lot of all that extra shit. She could just do her radio show. Still has her own popularity. Make money and continue.
I feel like if you rap,
she could be pregnant doing a radio show.
Well, yeah, for sure. I feel like they should have a minimum age in which they can retire. I have to work until I'm 65, and I get paid bullshit for it. So if you're making all kinds of millions, give us till 40 at least.
Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe there should be some sort of clause that says, you know what, you can't. Well, what happens if you like
don't have any fans anymore?
Yeah, like what do you have to just keep rapping till 40 to empty crowds and shit like this? Bullshit.
Yeah, but you made enough money in the time that you were popular that it's warranted, you know? Get out there and fucking perform in a bar that has nobody in it. I don't care.
Well, I mean, that's what you do in the beginning. It's not very, but you're hungry. At the end, if you're just falling off and nobody's watching you do it, then if a star falls off and nobody's there to witness it, do they really fall off?
Listen, if I don't know, I just honestly feel like you should have if you don't have like the love for the game until you're 40, did you really ever love it, or is it just about the money?
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, I mean, you know,
like, look at Jay tried to retire multiple times and he still can't do it. He's like, all right, I had a hard time with this. I'm coming back.
Well, that's think about basketball players. Like, you can lose it because, you know, you're spending like your whole life. You're sitting there just fucking, you know, constantly, you know, honing your skills, which is fine. But like, I guess that at some point, you know that it just becomes work.
Yeah, but like it's also physically taxing. Like most NBA players, like late 30s, maybe early 40s, some of them, that's their typical retirement area, right? So and you're putting a lot of physical effort into that. Not saying that like when you're on the road as like a touring artist and shit that it's not taxing and eventually catches up with you and have mental implications, whatever. But let's think about this here. I have to work until 65.
I get it, and your point isn't like lost on me by any means. I'm with you, but at the same extent, I'm like, it's kind of different a little bit. But
I mean, I suppose so. I just hate having to work.
I mean, look at Andrew Luck retired, right?
Yeah.
And he said he had to do it because, you know, he wasn't enjoying the game anymore and things of that nature. Maybe a artist who isn't getting any garnishing any recognition after having garnished it before is now in a point where they're not enjoying it anymore. They're not the same person. I think you can lose yourself, you know. Also, fuck Indiana Colt fans for the way they responded to Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
it just 100%. Further tells me that Indiana's a shitty state.
I've always disliked Indiana, but
it's like next door to us. It'd be dope if like Indiana was like California instead.
Like there was a cool state next to us.
Yeah, like, you used to be cool.
Fucking weirdo state.
Yeah, fuck Indiana, dude.
Yo, for real, like the guy literally made the best decision he could for his own health. He was like, this is not. It's been hard on me. I've been injured. I've been going through this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step away. Like I need to make sure my future after this is good to go. And so I think Derrick Rose said something similar to that, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I got to think about my life after basketball. And people like shat on him for it.
Yeah,
and you guys,
are the worst,
man, for real. Like, hey, I applaud Andrew Luck for stepping away the way he did. He's a great talent, and he just he's like, hey, this is not working.
While you're ahead, man.
Yeah.
You take a beating, and people don't fucking realize at the end of your life, you're the one that's dealing with the CTE and all that shit. Like, fans don't even think about you after you've retired, and now you're dealing with this.
Yeah.
Dude, I would be like, honestly, if I was Andrew Luck, I would come up to the podium, say I'm not answering any questions, but like, just take this picture.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all, Indiana. I'm out. Like, I'm going to. Where's he? Is he from Indiana? No, right?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't think Andrew Luck is from there. Like, Luck isn't a name you hear from Indiana. Sounds like a place that's
I
better.
think once you made it into a rapper's lyrics, you deserve a little bit of respect on the field, I think that was that game lyrics that I got 12 stuck to my chest in the field with the Colt. Andrew Luck with it.
Let me see. Hold on. More about Andrew Luck. Born in D.C. All right, cool. He's a D.C. kid.
D.C.
Chappelle. Bleep. Bleep. Also, Gronkowski. Remember he retired. We didn't even talk about that, but he had a some sort of, and it's been a couple of weeks, so this may be a little old, but he had some sort of place he was speaking at, and he was talking about how football was just, he knew he was done. Like he said, at the end of their run, his run, he wasn't even enjoying football anymore, and he didn't love it, and it was changing the person he was. He was losing the spirit that he is. Like Gronkowski has like a really cool, like playful, you know what I mean, like lighthearted spirit, it seems.
Yeah.
And I guess he wasn't really enjoying it by the end of that, and he was talking about that. And it's crazy because you didn't hear people boo fucking Gronk when he retired. It's like the difference between like,
he did it after his season ended.
Yeah, I get
Andrew
it.
Luck did it just like everybody's excited. He got him on his fantasy team and shit.
Yeah. Oh, look, they were like,
chill,
what?
People,
What? No, but I get it. I just feel like maybe. I don't know. I guess Boston's not necessarily the greatest town either, so I don't know what the difference is in fans. But I guess there is a big difference if you respond the way you responded, like Indiana's fans did, because that's bullshit. Like, man, what the fuck? Why'd I even play for your shitty fucking state?
I will agree that Boston is more of like they endear their big champions and shit like that, right? So
I think so.
Paul Pierce, I think, gets his most respect from Boston.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Everybody talks shit about him outside of that because
he's Paul Pierce.
his latest ESPN takes have been.
Hopefully he gets better.
I think he's trying to demand his respect on there. Like, I was great. Give me my I'd beat him. And they're like, no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
And that's not what you're meant to do when you're on those shows after your
no, dude. Over. Like, we're not here to talk about what you would do, dick. Just talk about what they are doing.
Right, like that's your job. So,
and there was like, I had something else written down. Oh, dude, I don't know how much we've spoken about how visible Stone Cold has been lately, but that shit is awesome.
Yeah, he's trying to bring his media presence back out too.
He's fucking super well spoken. Like,
the Texas Rattlesnake has more to him.
Did we talk about when he was on Hot Ones? I don't think we spoke about that.
No, because I didn't even watch it. I don't think.
Oh, you should watch it, dude. He doesn't drop a fucking bit of sweat. There's this man is the most composed. Like, he's literally checking his heart rate in the middle of the thing to make sure it's not at too high. But there's not a bit of sweat dropping. He's like eating 3 in. He's like, oh, this is the one that's gonna get me. And at the end, he's just like, okay, whatever. And he just puts it down and he's like, oh, that was hot.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like Stone Cold only said the emotion. He didn't show any of it.
Well, I remember even in his wrestling days, if he was in the back talking shit to one of the interviewers and he's like, if I go have 1 beer, 2 beer, he's always talking about food too.
Yeah,
It's never just beer. So I'm like, I don't understand. You literally just eat and drink all day long. And
dude, that dude is pretty awesome. And now he has his Broken Skull IPA.
Yeah,
I want to try it just because I want to.
Because it's Stone Cold and shit.
Yeah, I'm assuming he said he had a big part in all of the creation of it and he did a lot of the due diligence, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I feel like if I buy a case of of his Broken Skull shit.
Not gonna drink it.
I have to drink it like he would drink it. You know, I have to pop.
I think we're just literally, we're literally just gonna have to do that together. Like,
and then somebody's getting stunned. So
he was talking about how people were. He was talking about how people were like, man. Actually, I came up with a funny question, but I cannot remember what it was now. But fuck. Oh, when was the last time you stunned somebody? Like, but no, I like he was saying how people used to talk shit about like, oh, Stone Cold, you used to smash it and like half of it comes out. He's like, well, listen, when you're drinking like 8 or 9 of those, it's like you run out and you're chugging them. You leave the ring with kind of a buzz. You know what I mean?
He had on his podcast actually, he was talking about that, and he's like, realistically, my job is to be a showman, right? Like that's 80% of like selling who Stone Cold is. So he's like, there was never a wasted drop of beer in that stage. He was like, that was for the fans.
Right,
like,
right.
Smashing all over the place.
How exciting would it have been if he went in there and just kind of sipped the beer gingerly and shit? Like,
right, like just pop it open, like. Again,
hi. Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. No, it's better when you smash it, chug it, and flip everybody off. Yeah, I like that process way better.
Well, he was also talking about like, you know, he would go on every corner of the ring because he wanted to give all the fans a photo op.
Yeah.
Like, what if this is their only time they can come to the show? They came here to see me. I'm like their biggest.
Right, I got to give them their what they paid for essentially.
Right. So everybody wants a picture with his Stone Cold with his fingers in the air. You know, like
I'm the show. This is what he knows. You know? Yeah. But and then he's got that other show, the show on TNT now. I think I forget what it's called, but it's something with Stone Cold. Like, essentially they do Stone Cold shit around the day with a famous entertainer interviewed at the same time.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
It's almost like his version of Comedians in Cars. You know, like this is what I do throughout the day. I'm gonna have like a special guest on. We'll go do it together type of thing.
He's the only other person I want to see do something like that other than Jerry Seinfeld, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I just seen that the Comedians in Cars with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said midget in that show.
Yeah.
You know, he said it. I was like, oh shit, because they were talking about jokes and they were like, can we say that? They're like, yeah, you can say it on stage. I found it crazy that like, you know, he said it's been the idea that he's gonna start doing stand up again. I would like to see him. You know, I would probably pay to watch him do stand up. There's only two. So there's 3 people my favorite comedians right now are Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, and I would say Eddie Murphy's up there. Like in my like I don't
interchangeable.
know
the number 3 is interchangeable.
Well, you know, I think the best of all time is like probably Pryor, Chappelle, and I don't know. You know,
you have to put Eddie Murphy in that conversation.
Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy probably. There's like the Chris Rocks of the world, but he's not as in that top 3 range.
Yeah,
and like my 2 favorites, like, dude, Bill Burr just channels my inner anger.
This is keeping stand up separate from like comedy movies that they're in.
Yeah, you gotta keep it a little separate because if you're gonna put then you got Dave Chappelle and Eddie Murphy, but Eddie Murphy's at the top.
Yeah,
then probably Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
right, because Pryor did some great, fucking hilarious roles, like Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Gene Wilder was some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. So ignorant, dude.
Yeah, Bill Burr has a new special coming out too.
The 9th, I think it comes out, dude. I'm so excited about it. It looks like it's like it's the white version of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's just like, you know, it's just the same kind of like addressing social shit that like, and they both are very good at
they get animated and
not
introspective.
Not really caring.
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, yeah, they are that. But I think it's important to note that they are very, you know,
they're willing to push the line type of thing. They don't care.
Fuck it.
It's their show.
Right. I'm a comedian. I'm here to observe and talk about what you guys, what everybody else hears about. Yeah. Right. And what my own take on it is. And, you know, if I'm self-deprecating at times, then listen, so be it. If I deprecate over you, that's a whole nother thing. But take it because that's, you know, good deprecation. And then it's good shit, man.
I promise. It's quality.
Right?
Quality
like,
deprecation.
So I'm very excited about that, Bill Burr. He's probably, now that Dave Chappelle's back, it throws a wrench, like a kink in my chain or a wrench in my you know, whole thing, because Dave Chappelle for the longest time was like Dave Chappelle,
right?
And then he left, and you're like, well,
and then he came back, and now he's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, like I told you, I'm great. But no,
I kicked her in the pussy.
Super dope. He's like, Did you watch the new one?
Yeah.
This is what I do, man. We're gonna chastise you every chance we get, man. And
I'm gonna dig up some shit from your past, and then
and then you're fucked.
It's like, that's you.
He's like, guess what that is? That's you. That's how you sound to me. You motherfuckers are like, dude. He went in on us, dude. He made fun of us, dude. He wiped the floor with us.
I don't put myself in that us.
No, not at all.
He was making fun of the people I make fun of. So.
Yeah. No, but Bill Burr, I'm just as excited for his special as I was for Dave Chappelle.
Well, and now he's bringing more life experience to the show. Like, he just had a kid.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah. And he's probably one of the best at like evaluating or analyzing like married and child life in his own experience.
Yeah,
because he's such an angry person.
Still, one of my favorite ones of his is about the dog. Like,
yeah.
He's like, so basically, what you're doing is you're raising your dog, and then you're fighting it for.
He's like, oh, we always have to do this thing, you know. We race up the stairs, and we fight a little bit. And he's like, so sir, what you're doing really is you're racing your dog to the top of the stairs to see who's more dominant, right? And then when you get up there, you're making him fight for his food. You're raising an aggressive dog, sir.
He's like, so you're telling me I can't play with my fucking dog? Like,
dude, he's so funny. Like, I don't know.
I don't want to give him his whole.
No. Well, I mean, that's like a 10 years ago type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
I like, but he's always made me laugh, and he always says things that are highly controversial to some of the more sensitive groups of people. You know, those guys.
Yeah.
Cancel culture or shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, there's no cancel culture.
I'd be like, cancel these.
Pretty much.
But
the people who be trying to cancel everybody, those are the people who fucked up the world.
They're the people we really need to cancel. Like, can we cancel culture?
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
That's pretty much like the one that's worth it, you know?
Right, like I'll go after that one.
You want to have a social media campaign, cancel culture.
Like, cancel these nuts.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day that's pretty funny to me, that Matthew McConaughey is now teaching at the University of Texas.
Is he?
Yeah. He's teaching in the film and arts department or something like that, which makes sense because he's obviously in film and arts.
Right. That would certainly make sense.
But no, can you imagine what kind of teacher he'd be? That'd be pretty funny. Like, he's like super, like, he'll probably come to class kind of real blasted, like, okay, guys, what are we going to do today? Here, what we're going to do is we're going to go walk outside and we're just going to look up in the sky. But like, dude, I'm going to get an A in this class.
Like, yo, I like looking up in the sky.
Like, I can tell you exactly what it looks like. It's blue, some clouds. Fucking, there's a sun up there.
Maybe some glitter sprinkled on it.
Depends on how you draw it. The sun's rays, man. Dude, what the fuck kind of class is that going to be? Like,
I don't know, but
what if he's what if he's a bitch professor, like just a terrible professor?
Get homework every day.
Dude, attendance is mandatory. Dude, none of that shit. Like, wear a suit and tie to class. Like, dude, fuck Matthew McConaughey.
Because, as fans, we have like this natural preconceived notion that our favorite actors and whatever, like, media personalities are cool as shit.
No, he is cool.
He probably is, but cool. I'm just saying, like, in that context, as a teacher, you could be like, oh yeah, it'd be cool if this guy's my teacher and he's a fucking...
Oh, dude, I don't like any teacher. I don't care who you are. Like, why the fuck would I like you, dude?
Almost like how I feel about the cops.
No, it's just an authority figure that is like, you don't want to have to deal with.
If you're a teacher and I know you and I am not in your class, that's one thing. We can be cool,
Why would you be cool with a teacher? That
I'm saying, like, I'm gonna be 30 this year.
So you're saying as a 30-year-old man, right? That if you didn't know a teacher, that you'd be cool with them just to be cool with them.
No, what I'm saying is
back in high school.
No, hell
dude, I hung out with Mr. So-and-so yesterday.
No. What I'm saying
that guy's cool, man.
What I'm saying is, as a 30-year-old man,
that he's got a '67 Corvette. Like, Adam, shut the fuck up.
I think you're describing a teacher or something.
That's pretty specific, right?
No, I'm saying as a 30-year-old man, or almost 30.
So you'd have a friend that's a teacher.
That, like, now we're at the age where I know people in all kinds of professions, teachers included. So if, like, we're the same age and you're a teacher, that's what I'm saying.
That's different.
We'll see if you would have just
You're not going into relationships like, dude, you're a teacher, we could be fucking cool.
If you would have let me explain, I would have gotten to that point.
That's what we do here. I don't let you explain shit.
I've noticed, Let's cut back to these comedy specials coming out real fast. Related to them, they're all put on Netflix, right? So, I've realized that I'm gonna have to have multiple subscriptions when the Disney one comes out, their streaming service, and I think Netflix is literally gonna be composed of their like Netflix specials or whatever, like the series that they put on,
Well, the thing is,
and the comedy shows.
remember that the thing is that I think that
Yeah. What is that?
the thing
that you think?
Netflix has over Disney is that Disney is a brand of wholesome,
Family oriented things.
It's more family oriented.
But Disney Studios
content.
is behind like
Yeah,
a lot
I know,
of things.
but the thing is, certain.
What you're talking
It's
about?
all about brand image, right? So certain things, right? Like let's say you put Dave Chappelle's special on there, right? And it garners a lot of criticism, a lot of it great, some of it not so great. But it's known to be racy. You know, he's talking about transgenders. You know, he's talking about a whole bunch of things that are controversial. Now, if you put this on your platform, right? Let me paint a picture, and then give me what you think would be, if that would make sense. Now you put that on your platform. You also got Disney everything, right? Cartoons and shit. Now we've all known that going back to these cartoons, whoever wrote them were on psychedelics and shit. Like it's a lot of real weird hidden innuendos and shit, right? Whatever.
And by the way, I shouldn't let you explain this because you just got finished saying that you don't let me explain things.
I just want to know if you think this will affect the brand, or if this doesn't, then I don't know what's going to happen with Netflix. So. Because Disney obviously can pay more than Netflix. Like they got more money. It just is like, especially the way they're saying Netflix is like hemorrhaging cash right now. Because they just gave he got $60 million for those 3 fucking episodes, and they're gonna give Eddie Murphy probably crazy money for one, because he announced something.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is you attach the Dave Chappelle to that. You got okay. So now think about it on the scroll of the screen, right? You have. Some Disney, Marvel, this, and they got Marvel. They won't even make like a lot of these like Marvel movies. They make PG-13 because they don't want to have cursing and shit, right? Whatever it is. Yeah. So let's say you got Marvel this, you got Disney cartoon that, Disney TV show, blah blah blah, and on the 5th one on the main screen, Dave Chappelle. What's it called again? Sticks and Stones.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows that is not one of these things is not like the other. Right? So does that make a difference, in your opinion, to Disney's bottom line or Disney's image enough where they wouldn't want to attach that to themselves?
I honestly don't think it makes that big of a difference because of what I think Disney is. So first of all, the more like family-oriented children shit, a lot of those movies are Pixar, right? And it's just another division of Disney. And Disney owns
it is? Yeah, it is.
And Disney owns like so many networks, it's ridiculous, right? So I think the way it's likely going to have to be with Disney is and I'm just trying to like picture what I think their platform is going to look like, and I think they're going to have to organize it by individual channel, right?
Because there's such a like underneath the umbrella
vast.
Is so much. Is Nickelodeon part of Disney?
That I'm not sure of.
I mean, because if that is, then that's a whole nother division of like, it's basically Disney times 2.
Well,
it's the same thing.
The way I look at it is like
in terms of the widespread content.
The way I look at it is kind of like Universal Music Group, right? They own fucking all these big labels and shit. Like pretty much any soundbite that you hear from anything, they own it. So, and I think Disney is the one behind. Like I'm not sure about Universal Studios. I don't know if that's like a Disney division or if like it's its own entity or whatever, but they might be.
I think that's attached.
So I mean, like
it's because
they literally own everything.
The umbrella is so large, it's almost indistinguishable. Like what you know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, what is part of you? But I think when in doubt,
Yeah, so that's why like I bet you when they have like WB movies or Lionsgate and shit like that.
ABC
they're probably
7,
all
Channel
chapters.
7 is all Disney.
They're all chapters of Disney Channel or of Disney's brand, but they market them with different names for different crowds. So like this movie's Disney Pixar, it's gonna be very family oriented. Like you might have one or two little like maybe they'll say damn in the movie or some shit like that.
I think in PG-13 you're able to say fuck once.
I believe that's the rule. Yeah,
that's how I heard it explained like some time ago. I think when like Matt Stone and Trey Parker were on like Leno when they first came out, talking about I think it's when they were speaking about South Park the movie.
Yeah,
and that's always stuck with me because I was like, oh shit, if you look at it, they only said fuck one time in that movie. You know.
So I mean, bottom line, I'm just thinking that Disney owns actually the rights to a lot of.
Oh shit, we said it.
I think they own the rights to a lot of those big, like, more raunchy movies and stuff. So they may have just like a Disney family and a Disney. You know what I mean?
I mean, that makes sense too. I just don't know. Like, so if that's the case, what happens with Netflix? If Netflix can't afford to pay these people, unless people have some beef with Disney, like didn't Sony just Marvel's Disney, correct?
I believe, yeah.
And Sony just broke the Spider-Man Disney or Spider-Man Marvel connection, right? They closed
because they were fighting for rights about who can put out the next movie.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah. Yeah. So
and Sony's pretty fucking large itself.
Yeah, Sony's it's not as big as Disney. It's like one of those fucking things where you're just this tier is completely different. You're big for what you are,
but they have big enough. They have a large enough presence where they're able to dictate things like that.
Yeah.
Like, nah, sorry, bro.
Well, because I think they legally own like rights to it, so like there's no way they.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Netflix, I could still see them prospering because.
I think Netflix starts putting podcasts.
Maybe. Hey, Netflix, if you think about putting podcasts.
Did I?
Maybe we should edit that part out,
Maybe.
You just gave them an idea.
How dope would it be, though?
We'll talk more about this off mic because you just gave me a great idea. So, shut up, all you listeners over there. Before we get too far here, number one, part of what you guys have missed in the past 2 weeks, Osama has aged a year.
Oh, yeah.
So happy birthday to him.
Yeah, thank you. 34.
Glenn, the infamous opposite shout out man.
Opposite shout out to Glenn.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Was it today?
Or is it?
I think it's today.
It is today, actually.
Glenn's birthday's today.
Yeah, Glenn's birthday is today.
Happy birthday, bro.
So, shout out to him and opposite shout out to him.
He ain't watching
not
this
right
anyway.
Otherwise, you're probably right.
Glenn is a dick. He hasn't even watched nor talked to. You know what?
I heard from him yesterday, but
I heard from him too, and I didn't get the chance to get back to him, man. I had some shit. It's just been a busy couple of weeks for me, just in general, processing things and all sorts of, just in general personal things. But, I was processing 34. One of those things, man. Dog passes a couple days before it, which definitely sucked.
Yeah, not good timing for something like that.
Yeah, man.
Not that there's ever good timing, but
no. But it is what it is. You gotta move on. I'm sure a lot of dog owners out there understand. Like, it's hard to do. You try to adjust to life without them being here. But at the same time, like, you just gotta remember that my dog was 10. Stax was 10 years, like 4 months, something like that. He had just made 10 years, 4 months.
Yeah.
So like he's been around for quite some time.
Well, you take that and multiply it, right? 10 times 365. You cut out the other 4 months. That's over 3,000 days of that dog being,
Yeah, part of our lives. Me and Adam had him since he was a puppy, and he was a good dog, man. Really good dog, smart as fuck. Dope.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. He was a beautiful dog too. All those things.
If I don't know who's watching, I'm looking to get a tattoo. Not no bullshit. So if you suck, don't fucking hit me up. Sorry, it's just I'm not putting bullshit on my body. But I'm just not. I would like to put a really dope portrait of him. Not sure full body or just from the neck up. He had a really unique stance.
Yeah.
So I would like to get that. But if you cannot proportionally do it, do not hit me up. I promise if somebody were to tattoo some bullshit on my body, I'd kill them. I promise that.
I agree. Yeah.
I 100% promise that. Like, I would be like,
herpes is for life, bro.
Herpes is for life. No, dude, can you imagine getting up? Like, you've seen some of these whack-ass tattoos. Like, if you misspelled something on my... if you misspell a word while tattooing it on my body, you better realize it. Say you're going to the bathroom and never come back in that room because I'll fucking kill you.
You don't get an eraser. What I don't understand is
you don't get second chances.
Couldn't they manufacture some kind of like ink that's like it like neutralizes the color that they put in. They can just go over it if they need to. This is what I don't understand. Back to the by now you would think section of life.
By now, they did used to have invisible ink markers back in the day. Crayola. That's where you're getting at?
Crayola.
Was that what you were getting at?
Not necessarily them, but like just in general, like why is this stuck here now? You can't. I understand like the idea of is the permanency and shit, but human error. There's a lot of room.
No,
for
there's
that.
no human error. You tattoo.
Right.
It's like you're a police officer. There's no room for human error.
But
I don't care if you're human or not.
That's a bad example because there's
no, I know, but I'm just saying that you don't get. I understand why you believe you get this leeway. You've selected a career that it gives you no margin for error. Period. And if you are a tattoo artist, I'm sorry, false parallel or not. I'd rather you parallel got zero margin for error here.
I'd rather parallel it to like Stealth Assassin, like Metal Gear Solid. There was no room for error there. You fucked up, you died.
That shit just came out. The 20, not the just came out, but the 20th year or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh man, such a great fucking game. Possibly before we get into that, because it's probably top 5 video games of all time. But what were we talking about before? Because that's just completely taken away my mind.
We just went back to shout out the birthdays real fast.
Tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've seen one where somebody got like a lion on their back, and it was definitely
not a lion
tattooed by the 4-year-old son of the guy who was the tattoo artist.
That's not a lion.
Dude, I was like, if I saw that on my back, if I got up and I looked in the mirror after you tattooed my back, right? You sat there straight faced, tattooing this fucking remedial ass lion on my back, right? Now it looks like you did this and you've never even seen a lion before. Like it looks like you thought this was what a lion would look like, so you tattooed it on my back. I'm killing you.
I almost don't.
Don't let me find you at home. Like, I might slap whoever's at your house after.
I don't want you doing things freehand. Like usually, they make the stencil, they put it on there, and they pretty much go.
Well, the stencil's important because
I prefer that because I know what I'm getting first. Like I understand what it's going to look like.
That's what I mean.
I understand the space is going to take up. Like
yes. I understand that there's definitely room for improvisation. I don't know if that's the correct word when you're talking about tattooing.
I mean,
like,
so.
For the most part, like I understand that the lines aren't hard lines. You know what I mean? They're a soft outline. You kind of go over, you can go under them, or you know what I mean?
It depends how intricate it is because to some degree,
right. Some of it needs to be,
those.
But I understand it's not. There's some room for margin for error in some places.
Yeah,
but proportions are very important. If you fuck up a tattoo on my body, you tattooed it, and you're gonna sit there and charge me like $1,000. Oh, that's not gonna be very pleasant for you.
No, somebody's getting ass whipped. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did want to talk about, you brought up Metal Gear, back to, but I just want to say any tattoo artist, anybody who knows tattoo artists, comment below, hit us up. But I'm looking in Chicago.
Again, to emphasize, good tattoo artists.
Yeah, dude, don't even don't hit me up if you can't even draw. Like, dude, I can't draw, but I can tattoo. But like, get the fuck out of my face.
Like. This you have to draw to turn it in.
Sir, one more. I got an outburst from you, and I will string you with this microphone. Do you understand me?
But yeah,
Metal Gear is probably a top 5 video game. I just want to go there because I know we're probably hitting that mark of time.
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure where we're at.
I got not a clue, but
we'll end it when we end it.
Yeah, but no, Metal Gear Solid is that double disc game. We've spoken about the game itself. The situation where I took months before I can get the second disc. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
But that's got to be top 5 game of all time.
If I had to put together a top 5, I think I would have to keep that era of games separate because
yes,
because I would literally go
right?
like Metal Gear, Resident Evil
2,
right? Tony Hawk Pro Skater, first one.
Yes.
Warzone.
Yes.
And probably like maybe Twisted Metal.
Yes.
That would be the top 5 for back
Those
then.
are some of the best games because you know why? Like don't get me wrong, I enjoy all of these open world games, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, all this cool ass shit is really, really fun. But there was something about like Twisted Metal, right? Twisted Metal, which I believe they should create an open world version of. Right, they should create Twisted Metal with story. They put
out a Twisted Metal like I don't know, can't be that long ago. I think they have one for PS.
No, they should do it in a specific in the first one. Yeah. Same first characters, create stories for all of them, right? They don't have to be the largest. They don't have to be stories like of the character you throw into Grand Theft Auto, but make them a quarter the size, right? But this way the game is you have multiple, and then when you do everybody, you unlock certain things. But open world, make the graphics dope, make the weapons doper, all of the homing missiles, all that shit. Remember all that?
Yeah.
I think if they were to create that, that would go down as one of the better games dropped in a year because it has so much potential.
Well, we're in the
Midnight Club as well. Midnight Club,
but yeah, that was PlayStation 2, I think, right?
Yeah.
So that was all.
But you just incorporated Twisted Metal, and I mean they're all.
That was all like PlayStation 1 stuff, but yeah. Those,
I mean,
there's some that you can't.
One and two are grouped together per PlayStation. PlayStation 1 and 2 are grouped together.
But it's funny because all of them would still be on PS1 probably for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Even beyond like Grand Theft Auto, or Vice City, or
no, I'm saying
Andreas.
like that era, like the PS1.
Oh, if you were to pick the best ones,
those 5 games.
There was charm, and that's what I was getting at. There was charm in a Twisted Metal with its restrictions, but it was new. Remember, like you were like, "Holy shit, this is like a whole place we could travel through."
Yeah,
and, you used to learn the map. As small as that map was, it took so long to adjust the muscle in our head to remember these maps.
Yeah,
as we did. Remember in Grand Theft Auto, you got to the point where you're like, "Dude, I know this whole fucking city."
Right. Yeah, it's literally a whole city that you memorize. Like, even Grand Theft Auto 3, where there was the 3 islands, whatever.
Yes, and when it got to the point where like with fucking in 5, dude, it was like, dude, this is like the size of the world.
Yeah, it was enormous.
But
it's funny how fast you move between those places.
Yo, crazy. But that's what I was getting at. There's charm in the one. That's why these games now are dope, but I don't think any of the new ones will be ever placed on my top 5. I mean, you can say the Call of Duty or the Black Ops, like those that series of games.
Yeah.
Maybe the sports games are cool, but even the sports games get too intricate nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's great, like the graphic upgrades. So I was gonna say we've been in this era recently with video games where they're like remaking all the classics, right? So Crash Bandicoot, they put one out.
But are they making it? Did they make that?
Spyro, they put out.
Did they make that shot for shot?
100% the same.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's just
I think with this technology, you should try to. Or they remastered it, obviously.
That's what I actually would like. If they first of all would do a remake 100% the same exact way for Metal Gear now, I would love. I would probably be stuck in that game.
But with today's graphics,
graphics.
Oh, that would be probably. It would go down as the second. First one would be the Metal Gear Solid would be the best game of all time, and then Metal Gear Solid
with 4K graphics
would be the second best game of all time, dude.
Well, that's the thing, like
because that game was fucking crazy.
Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, they upgraded the graphics, left everything else the same. They have
what about
Medieval coming out? They're remaking that.
Really?
Yeah.
What about like if Sega could somehow get the rights of Sonic to PlayStation for them to recreate Sonic as it was back then, but now with today's technology and graphics, right?
Yeah,
that would be really dope.
Well, that's the hard thing,
right? Sonic is another top 10 video game, right? But if you're gonna group them in, you have to group them into cartridges and discs, right? I think you have to make sure you make that difference because it's important. You only had so many things you could do with a cartridge.
Well, I haven't seen that trend continue along with other like video game devices, right? So. What's the one they put out for Nintendo recently? The Switch or whatever?
The Switch I hear is really dope.
Me too, but
I would love to play that shit against each other from house to house.
I would love to see Nintendo recreate GoldenEye.
Yes. But the thing is that what is...
And again, no recreation.
It would be hard.
An upgrade of graphics. I don't need a recreation.
But
graphics,
it would be
that's all I want.
Difficult because there's no... So the Nintendo 64 controller is super unique, right?
It is.
You could have played that. You could play that game with one hand. Remember, joystick gun. You needed other things.
They should sell it with. They could sell that shit for $100 with a special fucking edition controller to go with it.
So what would you play it with? The Switch?
Yeah. You don't need a wire for anything anymore, right? So if you can connect that like throwback
Bluetooth
controller to the system, whatever, through Bluetooth, and you have like this. Gives you the GoldenEye experience, and then maybe like they can create other games you can use it for later on.
Dude,
or whatever.
We are giving them all sorts of ideas.
Yeah, this is why you better watch. And then monetize.
Dude, we should definitely be an executive at these companies.
I'm telling you. Like, listen, there's nobody better to hire than somebody who's in their 30s now who grew up on those
games.
things.
Dude, if we would have continued, dude, we could have definitely like been fucking professional gamers. Like a lot of our friends could have been. Like, but our parents were like, get away from the video games. Fuck you, mom and dad.
Like, now,
look what you did to me.
Look at Twitch. There are motherfuckers making money playing video games.
Dude, that guy that won the Fortnite tournament, like $3 million. He's 16 years old. That's cool. I don't want to say fuck him because he's us, a long time ago.
Yes, but fuck
he
that
just
kid.
had parents that were like,
we also didn't have the opportunity to be online with all of our video games at the time.
Oh, dude.
So fuck that kid.
Dude. Like, yeah, that's crazy. But no, like, yeah, like it's just nuts that all these games, like, if they could just, I get it. Like, you're right. Originally, I was under the mind state that they should get all of these games, remake them with the same environment but larger. But maybe it makes sense. Like, even when you play Nintendo, like a Super Mario 1, 2, or 3, that's a long game today.
Yeah.
Right? So my thought was it was always going to be that those games back then were only limited to certain size, so it's not going to be that long. But when I look back, Sonic was a long game. All those games were fairly long, so I guess it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is my thought was make it larger, bigger, better, right? But maybe the idea
just
is
the remastering.
The charm is in keeping it what it was, but
like, it's funny
giving you the visual that your eye is adjusted to today.
It's funny because PlayStation already even put out a remake of the first Modern Warfare. I bought that too, and it came out on PlayStation 3. Remastered, just upgraded graphics. You know,
how was it?
I haven't even popped it over out of the package yet, but I've been playing 2K19 a lot.
When you should start playing on Sundays when you come.
Yeah.
Bring your controller, we'll play some games.
A little 2K tournament?
Yeah, something like that, you know? It's only us, but tournament with two people?
Yeah. I mean,
I won! We played one game, dick. Next shot wins. That's always the worst. You're like, what? You're winning. Like,
it's not fair.
You've got the ball, dick. Like, it's like, like in football, the punter, like, like you want to punt or kick, or like you want to kick or receive. You're like, I'm going to receive.
Right. And then you're like, fuck, halftime, I wish I was receiving.
Your strategy never makes you feel good about it.
No.
But it's always funny. Like, fuck! I didn't think we were going to be losing at this point.
It's one of those things like the coin toss came, you're like, I want to win this coin toss, but I don't really want to win the coin toss.
I don't want to make this decision. No. Don't put this on me. Don't you put that devil on me, Ricky Bobby.
And I think also, to your point about video games, if you take it back to like NFL Blitz, that's better than any of the Maddens that I've played.
Oh, I've never been good at Madden. Dude, I'm so terrible at Madden, I can't even score. Like I am the last
it's
time
a fun game.
It's fun if the other guy doesn't know what he's doing too. Like if one person knows what he's doing and the other guy is just sitting there just picking fucking plays, thinking, dude, I'll pick plays and not even run the play. Like I'll just be like, oh, running back this way. Da-da-da-da. Like,
there's nothing worse than playing a game that you suck at against somebody who's good at it.
Dude, I'd be like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day about in the beginning of Grandma's Boy when they're playing Fight Night. He's like, fuck, stop hitting me.
Don't do that to my face.
He's like, this is like if Tyson fought an infant. It's a fucked up matchup.
Oh, man. Dude, and then like, I don't know, like these games are so intricate. Like I was playing the new Mortal Kombat and like my guy was good at like remembering fucking finishing moves. And I'm just sitting there button mashing like a motherfucker. Like somebody's gonna die today.
Yeah.
And it was
At
usually
some point
me.
You just have to do that.
It was
just
me.
Gotta mash away.
It was me. I died today. I was somebody.
You know what the worst part about button mashing back in the day is like you would do some shit like, oh shit, that's pretty cool, and have no idea how to do it.
Dude, I had a run of playing Tekken at the arcade once, just button mashing, like just murking everybody. They were all angry. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
They just in here like this with a button.
Like I have no clue what I'm doing. There was those Marvel vs. Capcoms where like those insane combos. You'd be like, dude, fuck you. As soon as you get this little bar to go to here, the game's over. Like I just give up. Like you're punching me for like at least 45 seconds straight. There's no way I'm alive.
No. Those are fun though. Fun times.
Video games were like that's the problem with now. Like as cool as it is and as dope as it is that you have no restrictions on size and what you can say in a game, what you can do. Dude, you fuck in Grand Theft Auto. That's all I'm going to say.
You do. You drive drunk.
Dude, that should be fun in that game. Like you really are drunk. You can't drive.
Yeah.
You just be straight. Like you wake up
in San Andreas, you gangbang.
Yeah.
The whole time. You just turf wars.
Really? Like, dude, your fucking map goes off and you're like, oh, time to go set trip.
Right. You're in the middle of a mission. Like, nope.
No,
you got to take one quick pause.
You pause a mission for another mission and shit.
Yeah.
Now we're just getting too specific in depth.
Yeah, for sure.
But all I'm saying is, like, I guess the charm in those games was so much more authentic.
Yeah.
You know?
I would agree.
So the games you mentioned in your top 5, I pretty much agree with 100%. Unless we're going to cartridges, then we got to talk about like the Golden Eyes, you know, and shit like that. And it's Super Mario
WCW
3
versus NWO.
Yeah, definitely.
There's always got to be like a good wrestling game in there back in the day.
Man. Definitely, wrestling games are pretty fun. Yeah. I think that even till today they would be fun. They should bring out Warzone again because Warzone had terrible graphics.
Warzone had the worst graphics, but it was still
I used to
great game.
The shit out of you in that game. You were like, just pin me. No.
Literally, we'd be fighting and like we'd have like a cage match or something. And if you're familiar with the game at all, the darker the red health bar gets, the deeper red it becomes, one hit will knock you down for 5 minutes. That's how bad the graphics
were, right? You could just pick them up. And
so he would like, you would throw me against the fucking cage and fall, and I'd just be stuck on the floor for 5 minutes like,
I'll go take a shit.
And fucking doing leg drops on the floor, like, you know. But yeah, that shit was fun. And I would be great with them remaking that.
I would love to get back, have a day where we just played all those games, because I still got a couple of those.
We had some post Tony Hawk era Tony Hawk games, you know.
Oh man, we got better at it then too, man. We were really good.
I mean, only made sense.
Now we're just getting super gamery, like
right.
We were gamers like back a while back. Now we're just like we enjoy a good game here and there.
Yeah,
you know, I actually enjoy games like Resident Evil. Like if they come, I'll play them, I'll knock them out, and I won't play a game for a long time.
Yeah,
like The Last of Us or The Rest of Us or the people that are left, whatever that game's called.
The Last of Us.
That was a good game too. Really dope.
Yeah, some of them are. I mean, like
you enjoy them, you know.
I'm not ever trying to take something away from the era that the games have gone into because I mean they've done an outstanding job.
Awesome. I would love to work with these things. It's fun.
But it's just like you said, that charm from back in the day is different.
From a time where we hadn't progressed so much that things were so complex and you know, like dude, we've spoken about how God of War. We're going to have to tag gamers in this fucking podcast. But how God of War used to be so fun, right? And now it's gotten to the point where it's so hard, you don't even want to play. You're like, dude, that's not like in, remember in Superbad, he's like, why am I even playing this if you can't even win? That's just stupid. Like, that's really how I feel about God of War now. I'm like, dude, fuck this game.
It is like, I started doing the campaign.
Dude, you're the God of War. How are you losing every one of them?
Because you have a child with you.
That kid is the worst.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He has his benefits, but I just don't understand why he
just shoots
so
bows.
Easy
Fuck that kid.
I don't understand why it's so easy to beat Kratos. I mean, given he's old as fuck, but like
he's Kratos.
It's Kratos.
His name is Kratos.
Kratos. But yeah, so I don't have anything else interesting to talk about.
I don't know how much interesting things we've spoken about to begin with today.
No, I mean it was interesting to me. I mean,
I had some fun.
You know. But
yeah, that was episode 57,
that's episode 57,
right?
for
Just
sure.
want to say rest in peace to my puppy Stacks.
Rest in peace,
you know,
Stacks.
man, we love you, and you know, thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely, something needs to be said to your dog, man. Thank you for sure for 10 fun years. You know?
Oh yeah. You know?
Shout out to all the birthday people who
all the Virgos so far.
Not all the Virgos, because I'm sure there's some of you I don't really like.
No, I like a lot of. Yeah, well, that's true. But a lot of the Virgos that I do like seem to be like the famous folks that seem to have the same disposition I have in life.
Yeah, I mean,
every time something happens, like she'll see an artist do something, like somebody I like a butt-in or something like that. Nas, there's a lot of Virgos. You know? Yeah. Every time something pops, she'll look. I'll be looking at her. I'll watch something, and she'll be like, "What the hell?" I'll look, and she'll be at her phone, and be like, "Is he a Virgo?" She'll be like, "How the fuck did you know I was looking?" And I don't know shit about horoscopes, right? I just know Vivi thinks most people who are Virgos that are like me, like she'll be like, "Oh, he's just like you," and she'll look and it'll be a Virgo. I'll be like, "I don't know what that means," but like, go Virgos.
Yeah,
100%. September 3rd, yeah.
I'm not excited about being a Sagittarius this year, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be 30.
But yeah, so thanks for coming back and watching us.
Yeah, man, we apologize for the lack of content. It seems like it's been longer than it really has for us.
Yeah,
they've been
I'm not
long
even really
weeks.
Gonna apologize for that.
No, but yeah, true.
So,
but no, like me and Adam will admit that we talked about it. It just seems like even this 2 weeks has been longer. Like it feels
Yeah.
like it's been a month since the last time we recorded. So thanks for coming back and rocking. You know.
Yeah, and we'll see y'all on 58.
Yeah, man. Shout out to all you puppies out there. Love you,
Yeah, yeah.
Stacks.